Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Rids and today's video is about reading slump. Everything about it, tips and tricks and books of recommendation to get out of a reading slump. Now this video is going to be in two parts. The first part is going to be about the tips and tricks that is going to help you out of a reading slump, and part 2 is going to be all my book recommendations which is going to help you to come out of a reading slump faster. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, every once in a while, if you are a regular reader, you might come across reading slump where you're not liking anything that you're reading, the characters, the plot, the storyline, and that is fine. I personally go through a lot of reading slumps, but one of the biggest reading slump that I ever had was for I think 3 years down the line. I think I didn't read anything for 3 years. I was trying to, I grabbed books, but somehow it never clicked. And I always used to think that maybe it was a phase where I used to love reading books, and now that phase is gone. But that's not right. I was in a deep reading slump and I was slouching my way out of it because I had no idea how to get out of a reading slump. So I was doing everything that was wrong. So after that, I started researching and I started understanding why I am in this reading slump and how to get out of it. So I have all the accumulated points which I have used for on me, and I know these works. So here are all the pointers that I have from my personal experience to share with you. The first one being enjoy the slump. Yes, enjoy slumping. It's fine to be in a reading slump for a particular amount of time. Now you decide whether it's a week or a month or maybe even 2 months, 3 months. That's for you to decide. But you have to be comfortable in that reading slump. It's okay. Give yourself a break. You don't have to read anything and everything you're getting your hands on. It's alright. Your brain wants a break, give it a break. Do whatever you feel like. Maybe watch a good series, maybe watch a good movie, go for outing with your friends, listen to good music. These are all things that will help you divert your mind from the reading pressure that you're putting your mind on. So it's okay, enjoy the slump for a while. Now once you're done, the number point 2 is be honest with yourself. Yes, guys, it's very important to stop following trends and be honest with what you actually like instead of what everyone else is liking. So these days, book talks, bookstagrammers, booktubers, everyone have, you know, some recommendation for you. This is trending, this is the hot pick of the season, you need to read this book. Stop. If you're not liking the genre, if your brain is shutting down, you don't have to. It's all right. If you don't want to read a psychological thriller, it's okay, give it a break. Read something else, maybe a historical fiction or maybe a sci-fi, maybe horror. Please do not follow the trend. Follow your heart. If you're in the mood for romance, go for romance. If you're in mood for horror, go for horror. Choose. Do not let others choose for you. Point 3 would be lower your expectation, guys. I know these days with all the YouTubers and book talkers and bookstagrammers, they are reading 200, 250, 300 books. It's all right. It's their job. They take out most of the time of the day to invest in that work, which is reading. For you, it's not. It's a hobby. It's all right. You don't have to sacrifice your social life. You don't have to sacrifice a good series that has recently released. You don't have to sacrifice a good time with friends, or you don't have to sacrifice a good date night. It's all right. Chill. You are reading for a hobby and you want to read because you love reading. So lower your expectations. You don't have to read 100 books a year. I personally, I don't get the time. I simply don't get the time. I have been in the bare minimum of 24 books per year. That is 2 books per month. Okay. If I get to read more books, good for me, but nothing less than 24. I just try to keep it 24. But what if it is 22 books? Will I curse myself? Will I feel guilty? No, I won't. I am a mother. I am a wife. I have so many duties. My toddler is like very, very, very active. So I don't get time to read for 9 hours, 10 hours a day. For me, it's maybe, during the night after my toddler is fast asleep, I start reading. And when I'm almost perpetually exhausted, that after reading maybe 50 pages, I'm down and I want to sleep, I want to go to bed, and that's fine. So do not keep high expectations. It's okay. Read one book a month, that works as well. Read one book in 2 months, that works as well. It is what works for you. Do not have to follow the trend again. So, the next point would be try out new genres. Yes, this worked for me perfectly well. So, I am mostly into thriller books or psychological thriller or detective novels, cozy mysteries. I love reading them. And there was a time when none of these books held my attention. I used to feel like I could guess who is the killer or who is the crime master, you know, like miles away I could guess. And that is what got me into a reading slump where none of the books were catching my attention. So, what I did was I switched to genres. I never read historical fiction before, but for the first time ever, I started reading a historical fiction. It was very slow paced and it had that nostalgia of the 1950s, and it clicked, it worked for me, and I was out of a 3-year-old reading slump, guys, because I just tried a new genre. So you never know what is out there and what are your boundaries and what you like, what you don't. So I would highly suggest, if you are in a reading slump, stop reading the type of books that you like reading. Generally, maybe romance, maybe thriller, maybe historical fiction, maybe sci-fi. Stop and switch genres. Experiment. There is nothing better than experimenting with the books. So switch genres it is. Another point which also helps a lot of people who are slumping is read the books which you actually love. So maybe you've read a book maybe in school time or in college which you absolutely loved, and you would kill anything, anyone to feel the first time experience of the book again. So those are the kind of books which helped you fall in love with reading in the first place. So I would suggest, if you don't want to experiment a lot, maybe read something which you already love. For me, it's the Harry Potter series, which I absolutely love and I'm nostalgic about. So when I read them, I feel like I am safe, and this is something which helped me fall in love in the first place with reading, and that is the reason why I get out of a reading slump slowly and steady. Also, there is a sub pointer of this point. If you do not want to reread the book that you have already loved, you might want to reread similar books which are very similar to the ones that you have fallen in love with in the first place. If you're in love with Hunger Games or Percy Jackson or Divergent, try and read books similar to that concept. It might help you to get out of the reading slump. Next pointer is so obvious, but no one talks about it, because I don't know what is the taboo of talking about it. The pointer is DNF books. It is okay. If you don't know what DNF stands for, it's did not finish. So it's fine. It's fine. If you pick up a book during a reading slump and you don't like it, fine, chuck it. You will read it some other time, some other day, when you're in the right frame of mind, and it's fine. Do not push yourself to finish a book that you have started during a reading slump, because you will not finish the book first, you will not enjoy the process of reading, and therefore you would still be in reading slump. So it is fine to DNF books during reading slump. I DNF books left and right. The ones I don't like, I will not read it unless and until I'm in the right frame of mind. Sometimes I don't pick up at all them because I know that's not the type of books I want to read. Then again, there are books which I have DNF'd the first time and I have loved it for the second time when I was reading, because I was in the proper frame of mind. So it is fine when you're in a reading slump and you do not like a book, you can definitely DNF them and not read them. Jump into something else. There are so many books out in the world. It's fine, trust me. The last pointer is read an ebook instead of a physical copy. Now you can exchange the ebook with audiobooks as well, as long as it's reading and in a different format other than physical. There are certain times when the situation around us is so that we do not get time to sit and read, or maybe we just don't want to, maybe we just want to be mobile, where we can walk and talk and move from here to there. It's fine, and that is where ebook or audiobooks come in place. I find myself reading in a faster pace when I'm reading in an ebook format. I just keep on reading while traveling from one place to another, and it helps me a lot to finish book faster. So yes, if you are in a reading slump and do not want to read book physically, give ebooks or audiobooks a try, and you might as well get out of a reading slump. So yeah, those are my pointers to get you out of reading slump. Use the tips and tricks. Do let me know if they worked for you or not. And in the part 2, we would be discussing about the books that is going to help you get out of reading slump. Till then, bye.